Here we go. This is something that I've already showed to the people that joined in our last bootcamp, but I want to go again with you through it, and then also add some information. So basically, when you want to start your commodity trading company, the first thing that you need to do is obviously to find a trade. So I think this is maybe 80% of the question that I have. It's about finding a trade. So that means that a lot of you don't find a trade. So this is why I put together this video, the buyer let's start method. I mean, this video is still on my YouTube. It's like a bit more than 1 hour that explains how you can find a trade. And the best method to start it's basically the buyer let's start method. So the method is quite simple. I will go through it like through this one in like 3 minutes. The first one is you need to find an anchor buyer. Anchor buyer is basically a buyer that is willing to help you, to educate you, and is willing to accept to deal with you, even though this is the first time that you do that. Very important. Then the second thing that you need to do is once you have an anchor buyer that said, look, man, I want to buy, I don't know, like LED batteries from you or whatever, you need to understand the flow of this commodity, because this is also a big mistake. People think, oh, I'm going to trade lithium, I'm going to trade copper, I'm going to trade crude oil, whatever shit, but they have no buyers, no idea of who to sell to. So this is not the right way to start. You need to start with the buyer first. So you find an anchor buyer, someone that work in a factory that need anything, plastic, whatever, and then you go back from there. So then once the guy said, oh man, I need plastic pallets or whatever, plastic bag, whatever, you say, all right, I get you covered. First thing that you need to do is to find to understand the flow, how this commodity raw material ingredient is traded around the world. So you can do those research online. There's a bunch of websites that can help you to do that. Then you find a reliable supplier. I'm not going to explain how to find a reliable supplier here, but you find one. Then you check if the logistic makes sense to your buyer. If not, you go back to find another reliable supplier. Then once you find one with a viable logistic, then you send a sample for product validation. And if the product is not validated, then you find another reliable supplier. That's pretty much it, man. And you do that as much time as you need to find what your anchor buyer wants. So this is how you do you find your first trade. Again, everything in this YouTube video you can just watch after this live. Then once you found your first trade, then you need to set up a trade flow. What does it mean? So usually let's say you do one container of what? Of plastic, of polymers, right? One containers. Then if your buyer wants to do another one with you, it means that you are onto something. That means that you have the ability to set up a trade flow. Because at the end of the day, you are not going to start a company if you only do spot deal. Like, because you are so good at begging, people are willing to because they like you, they want to do a trade with you, and then you do only like a spot deal, one deal. One shot deal makes no fucking sense. So, all right. So you need to have like a trade flow. So a trade flow, it basically means the same deal like every month, every couple of weeks, every day, whatever it is. So the same deal again and again. So this is what you need to try to set up, because it makes no sense to try to start again from day one. Each time you need to do something. So usually, if you are able to set up a trade flow, so if your buyer is willing to buy again from you, from the same origin, from the same supplier, it means that there is like some insight here. So you found maybe the right word for this is not insight, but I think it is. Like, for whatever reason, you found like a wedge. You found a trade that makes sense. And this trade makes sense for one reason or a couple of reasons or 3 reasons, but you need to know those reasons. So this is the insight that you need to get. And once you have this insight, maybe you can apply this insight to other things, but you need to have this specific insight. An insight is something that you are not going to find online. An insight is something that you are going to produce by doing stuff in the real world. So, for instance, in one of my companies, Grand Energy, the company based in Romania, the insight would be that people that do distribution in Romania, there is not a lot of professional companies. Most of them are like extremely bad run. They are in the end of very old people that are going to retire soon, and they are extremely unreliable. So that means that the clients never know if they are going to get something, not get something, and so on. And there's a good reason for that. it's difficult to have like actually reliable distribution company in Romania. But if no, our insight is like, look here, there is weak distributor. There's a way to do it way more professional, to be way more organized, and that to beat them. So, and this is basically what we have seen, as we are now distributing like 5 different type of energy product. So there is a wedge. There is a weak distribution market where clients are not happy with them. So if you can go there, same price, same terms, then you will get the business. Another thing, Ecometal. So Ecometal is a company that we started. The idea was to get to collect, aggregate scrap from DRC, and send it to South Africa to get recycled. So here we found a trade. We did the trade, but then when it was time to set up a trade flow, we considerably, shit hit the fan, man. We had like so many troubles, and basically what would work as a trade, a spot trade here and there, when you want to structure it to make a recurring trade flow, we had so many issues. But maybe I could write a book about all the shit that we had to go through. But yeah, it did not work. So what we did, I think we still have like a product that we need to pick up to sell. But yeah, we just not shut down the company, but yeah, we just stopped. It made no sense. So basically, we had a trade. The insight was like, look, there's a good margin here. Let's try to make a trade flow, but we couldn't. So then the other company, Chromatic Dragon. So Chromatic Dragon, this is a company where we trade chromes out of Southern Africa, so Zimbabwe, South Africa, to China. So here the insight was like, we saw that the wash plant market, so the people that have small wash plant in South Africa, they are extremely, how can I say, like, there is not a lot of players that do it right, and we're like, look, man, if we can put the right process and just be trustworthy, we already are going to be like very, very in the top percentile of the best player in those markets. So that was our insight, and this is the insight that we are applying. All right, so you need to be able to produce an insight, something that you know that is true about the market, or that you want to see if it's true about the market, and if that is the case, you'll be able to set up a trade flow. So that's the second step. Yeah, producing insight. So maybe again, insight, I should find another word, but I think this is insight is something that by doing work you can discover something, and then that you can then action it. Then the step number 3. So get finance. So basically, this is also there is a lot of people that just think that this is the problem. They don't have the finance, when they are just not. They haven't found a trade, but they think the problem is they don't get finance, but they haven't found a trade, and they're like, yeah, Mike, but I need money to find my trade. I'm like, yeah, that's not really how it's going to work, man. So the problem to get finance by professional is like, what I've seen is like there is a poor risk understanding of what financiers are looking for, and traders, even though they were able to set up a trade flow, that doesn't mean that they are quite savvy about just in their understanding of the commodity trade finance market. So from what I've seen, there is like, a poor understanding of who are the financiers, what they are willing to do, what they are not willing to do, what when there is a securitization, what type of securitization, why they wouldn't work with you, and so on. So there is a lot of questions that are basically the people that are trying to do it on their own, that have set up a trade flow, and now that look, I want to scale, they don't really understand what financier they should go for, why they won't get finance, or why they would get finance, and then there's a very poor understanding of that. But so this is why they go nowhere, or it took them like years to get finance. All right, so the next step is the next step is the last step is scale it. So once you have a trade flow, you found a trade, you made it a trade flow, you got some outside funding, because seriously you probably need to go, then you should be able to scale. Here a big issue, and this is something that I've seen it, I made this mistake, that it's very difficult to scale profitably in those type of business, because this is a business based, it's a knowledge based business. So that means that you need people that are knowledgeable, that are going to take risk to move your business forward. So it's very difficult to find those type of people, and usually those type of people, they will if they're good enough, they could basically live with your business. So you need to be structured in a way that this does not happen, or if it does happen, it doesn't hurt you. But also you need to be able to pay the cost of your team when you are scaling. So for instance, at Gromba Energy, we did something very, very stupid. We tried to get finance, scale it all at the same time. And we basically failed. And then I don't know, I told this story like many times. We had like five people that worked for us. We fired everyone, got clean again, got the company going again, and now we are going to hire, but with a proper back office. And so this is really the part to scale it. You need to a proper structure. Your company need to be structured to be able to take more risk. And also the problem that is also happening when you are an entrepreneur is like you are going to hire more people, but it's going to be more work for you, because those people, they are always going to ping you because you are the one that decide about the risk that you are going to take on the trade. So the more people you are, is going to be like more risk that you are going to take. And you're like, man, what the fuck, man? Why should I like pay all those salaries to get to find a new trade flow to trade more, if at the end of the day I make less money because I'm way less profitable, and also I have a worse life because everyone is constantly pinging me. I take way more risk. It's awful. So it's very difficult to scale, and but it's basically the problem is like a lack of structuration. So this is the first step that you need to go through. And I've seen I'm in talk with software that could help you with that and so on. And I'm trying to put together something to really help other people go through that phase, and also my company, by the way. So this is basically the 4 points that I'm trying to think right now. And for final trade, I think with the buyer-led start method, I already have something which is quite solid on how to find the first trade. And now my idea is to get like something like the buyer-led start method. So like a method to go from each step to the new one. So then I can like basically propose to someone like, look, there is like a playbook. So this is a playbook. Obviously, you need to adapt it to your market, but this is a playbook to go to the next step. And I've seen it help a lot of people. It also helped me. Is the work that when you are said, look, I want to build a company, but there's like so many unknowns, so many like pieces moving all together. The fact that you can show a map, a plan to someone with like structuration, also this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do here, and so on and so on. It really helped everyone, and also even for me to basically grow my companies. So this is basically what I'm thinking right now, how I can like make something like a method, or I don't know, like some type of blueprint for each of those steps to help the people grow like that. So yeah. That was pretty much it. So this is what I have in my mind. I don't know when I'll be able to finish everything, all those steps, I guess in few years, but that's basically the blueprint that I'm following right now. Anyway, so that was basically just what I had to say for this part. But anyhow, when you start a company, you will have to go through it. Unless you have a massive amount of money and you already know how to structure your backend, hire the right people, and get the finance going, you will have to painfully go through those phases. All right, so that was it. I see we are like 30 people on the live, so just I will answer all of your questions now. So let's do it. All right, so who is there? Hello, Craig. Hello, Ryan. Hello, Apne. I don't know, man. Hello, Dragon Ball Z. Hello, Ikra. Hello, man. Franco. All right, the first question. So, what payment term do you usually agree with your anchor buyer for your first deal? But that's a very good question. So basically, it's you will probably have to trust him a lot. So basically, if he's your anchor buyer, so that means that he's going to be willing for you to help you to get it started. So so it's going to be the payment term that he wants, man. And also you need to trust him. So this is why your anchor buyer will come from your network, most probably. Because yeah, man. So maybe you can do some type of prepayment. I don't know, but you will have to be aggressive on the payment term, because at the end of the day, you don't ask him to do you are already asking him to do you a favor by being the buyer for your first trade. All right, so he's taking a risk because honestly you don't know what you're doing. But so then you will have to match what he's already getting from his other supplier. So it depends. Right, Mahmoud. Is it in Dubai, this photo? Hello, Damien, great content as always. Will you be attending Gulf Food Manufacturing after 2 weeks? When is Gulf Food Manufacturing? I will be in Dubai last week of this month, but I don't know if it's Gulf Food Manufacturing. But I don't plan to go, man. Yeah. I have already too much stuff to do, man. All right, Ricardo, thanks. Key advice for the buyer-led path. Man, I watched the video afterward. It's like 1 hour 30 video. How to secure a buyer. Yeah. At the end of the day, when you start, the guy needs to come from your network somewhat, man. Usually, but this is what people don't like, man. As I said, it needs to come from your network. But the reality is like people don't know how to use the network because they are ashamed of what they are doing. Honestly, if you take now your phone, all right, there's at least 200 people in your contact list. If you send a message to those 200 people saying that, look, man, I have this import-export business. I'm trying to speak with someone that works in a factory. Can you contact me? Don't worry, I will not bother him. It's just 5 minutes. Those 200 people, they probably know another 100 people. So you have like 2 million people, 200,000 people that you can contact or potentially touch like that. But people don't do that, man. I know you have made a video with pretty great summary. Yeah, Jude. It's 1 hour 40-minute video. Craig, hey, then how do you approach people in conference in order to grow your network and find a new buyer? I know it depends on the situation, but could you give some advice? So yeah, there is like, all right, have you been to a conference or not? Because usually you just go there and introduce yourself, and it's like when people are in a conference, it's to basically find other people to be there to grow their network and so on. All right, you need to think that the people that are there, the employee, they probably need to go back to their office next week and then say, look, I met X number of leads. I said that to that guy, blah 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 blah. You know, so usually people are extremely happy when you go and introduce yourself and just chat, man. So the conferences are made for that, man. People paid a lot of money, man. A conference is like, I don't know, with a flight ticket and so on, it's like 3,000, 5,000 US dollar, euro just to attend. So people are there to grow their network. So there's no tricks, man. You just go there and say, hey, I'm Damien, how are you doing? What are you doing? And that's pretty much it, man. I know it seems weird, man, even for me, man. I've been doing that for a long time, but it's still weird for me to introduce myself to people. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And actually, next week I'm going to Iron conference in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So that's yeah, I'll be doing that, and I don't really know nothing about Iron. I know a little bit. I've never traded it, but I want to see. I want to go to this conference because we trade chrome, and chrome is used to produce stainless steel. So iron is like adjacent market. Usually, if you trade iron, you need to have a huge capex. But still, I want to go there just to meet people, learn a little bit more about the market and so on. Yeah, man, from your network. If this is the first time, if you haven't done that, it's going to be from your network. Or then it's going to be you need to go to conferences and so on. Opinion on natural gas traders. What do you mean, opinion on gas traders? I don't know. Like, eat less lactose. I don't know. Good joke. No, I don't know it. Give me like give me more context, and I give you my opinion. No problem. Do you know salaries in shipping up a job in Switzerland? Also, shipping up is a good entry way to become a small structure by yourself someday. Yes, definitely. So the second question. Let me do it again. Do you know salaries in shipping operation jobs in Switzerland? Yes, the salaries would be. I think you should be around 100K for the 100K Swiss franc as a standard job in the operations. But I know a lot of people that are making way more than that. But that is a rough estimation. Also, in shipping operation, it also is shipping operation a good entry way to become a small charter by yourself someday? Yes, it is. I think so. Tips on getting insight on new market. Yeah, man. So there's again the problem is like there's no tips. It's only work, and people want like shortcut. But the best way is to speak with the people. Is to speak with the most people ever. And this is why I'm going to the conference, even though I don't trade iron, because there I'm going to speak with qualified people, and then I will get insight on the market. So you need to speak with people, and you need to do stuff, and this is how you are going to get insight. So, for instance, an insight that a lot of trading companies use is like some like loophole in customs. It's very common. So there is like especially for instance in Europe, like each European country should have the same rules at the custom because they are in the same economical zone. But no, actually, some countries read the law differently than others. So and then when a trader see that, like, look, oh yes, man, I can go with that product through that port, and then I can sell it to them at a lower cost or whatever. So this is a type of insight that can make win a huge market. But you need to do stuff in order to be able to find them. This is again insight as something that you can't find online. You can only find them by speaking with people and by doing stuff. How you do you do a due diligence on good supplier? Does one have to travel to his country to check him? Yes, of course. So that's another thing, man. So when you're more experienced, maybe you don't have to do you don't have to travel to do the due diligence on a new supplier, because you should know the guy from your network, from other people, to know that all right, so those people already buy from that guy and so on. But nevertheless, it's very stupid to do that. You should always go there. It's a no-brainer, man. Otherwise, man, why are you a trader? Why do you de-risk the transaction for your buyer if you don't know the supplier? You have never seen them, man. How can you say that you de-risk it? Man, you're giving no value, man. You're giving no real value. So, and man, actually, a flight ticket to anywhere in the world and in a shitty hotel, it's not that expensive, man. If you don't have this money, man, maybe do something else than trading. Incoterm on commercial invoice, a buyer is legally bound to comply. Man, all right. So the Incoterms is something used by the Incoterms are rules and regulation enforced by the Chamber of Commerce of Paris. All right. So this is not. I don't think like there is a law that speaks about like Incoterms in any countries. Right. So it's not. I don't know exactly what legally bound means, but no, the guy can do whatever. The Incoterm is just there to help international trades by providing a set standard of rules and risk and ownership when there is like a transaction. So this is what they are used for. So I don't know exactly how to answer you, but I don't think it's legally bound. Or maybe I'm not wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. But man, I think also you get it. You get the question is also wrong, man. The reality is like there is nothing. Okay, law, international law, rules, regulation is only a question of leverage, all right? There is no fucking rules, regulation, and laws in most of the trade that you guys that are watching are going to do, because you don't even have the mean to make those law to apply the law. If you need to find a lawyer in another country to attack someone and so on, blah 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 blah. I mean, it's a lot of resources that you need to have. So I'm not sure that you all have them. So don't think that law will save you, man. So seriously, don't. It's not a good. It's not a good. It's not good to think that you need to have the law on your side to do something, because if the guy fucks you, and you have the law on your side, but you have no way to apply this law, then what do you do, man? So this is why, as I said to most of the people, your first buyer should be in your country, because you know the law, you know what to do if you get fucked, and so on. All right. When you speak internationally, What about wood pallet? I mean, we still trade wood pallet. I think we have trucks this weekend that are loaded from Ukraine to Romania. How to identify the commodity? Dude, man, are you testing the question? What are you testing? Because, man, provide a bit more context for your question, and I could help you, man. Ask ChatGPT to help you to write, man. Because, man, you need artificial intelligence now, man. Let's say I find a new opportunity to trade a certain commodity. How do I learn all the different specification quality standards related to the commodity? Could you give an example of how you do this? All right. So it's quite easy, man. I will ask my buyer, man, what are the specifications that you need? I'll start with that. So then he should be able to send me a specification with what he needs. So that's pretty much it, man. This is how I start. It's everything. It's always with your buyer, man. You need to ask your buyer, all right, I have this. What is the quality that you want? Is there any specifics? What are the specifications? Can you send me? If it doesn't have a specification, it will be weird. So you say, look, can you send me another certificate of analysis from one of your former shipment? And this is how I would get those information. Because at the end of the day, everything going to be on your buyer, man. What does he want exactly? So yeah, so this is how I learned that. Thanks, man. I have an interviews for commodity trading firm and I failed as I don't have much experience in data analysis. How would you use data analysis day to day? I don't. Man. I don't. So I guess it's for big firms, man. Because they must have like some analysts that do their stuff, man. But man, I have no experience in data analysis, man. I don't know, man. How do you find those conferences? Just Google it, or if there are resources where you can find? Yes, you can just Google it, but usually you need to speak with people from the industry, and they will tell you, man, what are the best conference, because for each part of the world have their own conference and each commodity have their own conference. So you need basically to ask people who, where is the best conference for, I don't know, grains or wheat or whatever. Again, it's better to just ask people. But usually the guy that gives the best that shows the best conference are the data providers, the price providers. For each commodity, there is often a price providers. For instance, I can show you. For Chrome, there is like one company that is, I think, the leader in terms of Chrome price in China, and this is ferroalloy.net. Here we go, ferroalloy.net. Here, this is the name of the company, and this is we pay them. I don't remember, $2,000 a year to get the price. And I went to their conference in China because this is the best. Everyone that pays them to get the price, they are real players. So yes, usually those are the type of company that throw the best conference. My family owns an olive oil factory in Turkey. Would you recommend me finding? How would you recommend me finding bulk buyers in Europe, or creating a brand, or starting selling them to small? Man, I don't know. I have no idea, man. I have no idea, man. So the question is like, what do you want to do with your life, man? So that's more the question. Because if you want to create your own brand and then distribute it to small shop and restaurant and market, so this is by far the best way for you to retain the most margin and to make the most money. But then selling in bulk, I guess you can have one buyers for your whole factory, or a couple of buyers, and then that's it, man. And then you can enjoy I don't know where you live, man. You can enjoy Istanbul by night. And Istanbul is a very cool city, man. So there's a lot of things that you can do with your life. Can have another job, man, or whatever. So it really depends. It really depends on your goal, man. Hello, Damien. Thank you for the awesome work educating us about commodity trading. You're welcome, dude. What's your best? What's your best, most exciting trading story? Man, that's a very good question. But this is also a problem. It's like, first of all, there's a lot of things that there's a lot of things that I can't say on YouTube. Otherwise, it will get my channel strike because this is not on proper content. And some of the stories are like that. But yeah, man, this is a very good question. I will keep it and I will think about something. I will maybe make a YouTube video about that because that's a good question. I don't know exactly, man, how I should tell that story, man. But that's a good question. I watched the buyer let's start method video and really like it, but wouldn't be hard to close a deal with the buyer let's start method since the buyer will see that I know nothing about the product. But yeah, man, that's the point. It's like you need to find a buyer that will accept to deal with you even though you know nothing about the product. And basically, the thing is like this way it must come from your network. It's like, look, man, I'm starting my own. The pitch is all the same. And all the guys that use it, they all use it exactly as I'm going to say. You go see the guy. You've been introduced by someone that know you, so you get a little bit of trust from that. And then you say, look, man, I'm starting my own import-export business. I'm starting my own blah, blah, blah. Right now, I'm trying to find a new buyer. I've discussed with that guy, the guy that introduced you, and he said that you use a lot of different raw material, ingredient. Is there like anything that you are really looking for, or that, and I can help, and I can try to find for you? And the guy goes, yeah, I don't know if I look, man. What I need is just like you send me the specification of the product that you need, or you send me this, and I'm going to match I'm going to match, or I'm even going to do better than your current supplier, and I'm going to match his payment term. So basically, that's it. You basically asking for a shot to do better than his current supplier, and that's it, man. And usually, man, if you're not an asshole, you see the guy face to face and so on, and you have a good energy and a good vibe, the guy is going to say, yeah, that's true. Like, I don't know, these suppliers are asshole, because all those suppliers are asshole in some way. Then it will give you something to fight for him, and maybe it won't work. But this is basically how you need to approach it. Much more than that, I thought it was a very low-paying job. My goal is transition for brokerage chartering after 3-4 years in shipping apps. All right. So you're speaking about shipping operation. Yeah, man. Actually, in Switzerland, is not really. Yeah, man. I don't think it's a low-paying job. I have a 6 month don't compete, but want to move to a new company. How much does it matter? I would more to take advantage of deals I already know and how to. Yeah, man. All right. Why is you don't compete, man? In which country, man? That's going to be the question. All right, man. There's a lot. I'm not going to give you the information here on the open web, but there's a lot of way to just work around non-compete. A lot of ways. A lot of ways, man. A lot. Do you think do you think that importing is better than exporting because exporters are usually competing with the producer, since importers can usually import directly from the producer and cut off the exporter? Man, that's okay. All right. So I think I understand what you mean. No, I think you are not thinking the right way. I think it's better to import and sell in your country because you know your country, and it's easier to sell to someone that is from the same culture, that you have some relationship to them or whatever, than to someone completely unknown in the other part of the world. So when you start, it's always easier to import something and then to sell to a guy in your country. So that's the only reason. But then if the margin is going to be the same problem in any other way. So that doesn't change anything. Also, what do you consider entry level capital to enter trading and secure some financing? Man, the problem with this question is, okay, it's always the same. So to secure financing, man, if you want to secure financing from big bank, you will need to have at least, I don't know, 5 million in equity, 10 million in equity. So that's not happening. But the minimum amount that you need to have is to be able to buy and sell yourself the smallest cargo, the trial cargo. Basically, you do, I don't know, like cocoa, you need to be able to buy one cargo of cocoa and sell one cargo of cocoa, one container. And if you have enough to do a trial with your own money, then it's easier to find someone that lend you money or whatever for the next cargo, because at least you have the proof that you know what you are doing, because you've already concluded one. When it's almost impossible is when you need someone that's money to start to do something that he doesn't even know if you can do it. Does it make sense? So I would say entry level capital is to have at least the money to buy and sell one cargo. What is the minimum amount of net margin according to you while dealing in a commodity? Consider all risks regarding the capital invested. All right, I'll try to understand that, man. What is the minimum amount of net margin according to you while dealing in a commodity, considering all risks regarding the capital invested? You mean the net margin on the trade, man? Again, it depends, man. There is no minimum net margin. It will depend on the market that you trade in. And also, it will depend on the risk that you are taking, man. If you are taking no risk, and then you a very little risk, and then you have a 5% trade, it's fucking unbelievable, man. It's great. If you are taking a lot of risk and you have a 5% trade, it's shit, man. So it depends, man. It depends. And if you are dealing with the biggest commodity out there, the one that are traded on the crude oil, LME, anything on the LME, copper, iron ore, whatever, the huge commodities, you're probably going to have a very, very, very small margin. Lol, like, do you think natural gas trading a worthwhile career? All right. What are the personality of traders who do it, and are you familiar with how usually first gas trader and natural gas? Okay, yeah. So basically, yes, I think it's all right. So I think it's a good career because I think we are going to use more gas. So if the market is growing, it's a good career to be in, honestly. So what are the personality traders? I mean, personality type is all the same. Man. They are arrogant, cocky, smart people. But there's like no one type of personality. I've seen like awful guys and great guys on the same desk. So I don't know, but you need to have a good level of self-confidence, or maybe if you're not self-confident, you need to be able to make people believe that you are self-confident, because you will need that when shit hits the fan and there's a lot of stress. But yeah. And are you familiar with? Yeah, usually, man, you get to those positions that I guess gas trader, it's only large companies that do that, from what I understood. So yeah, you need to be in operation or scheduler. Yeah, and most of the time, this is one guy from that position that you when there is an opening, then you can get a seat. Some other people also from risk, but usually you need to do operation, then risk, and then you can get a shot as a trading role. But again, it depends, and it's also depend a lot on the internal politic of the company you are in. Have you ever trading with Japanese community? I have planned selling wood pellet to Japanese community. Do you have any tips? Like, yes, man. Yeah, man. So Japanese companies are the slowest company in the world, man, it's very, very slow. But once you are in, man, they are going to be your customer for 2000 generations. So yeah, man. So, but if you want to sell wood pellet to them, man, do you have I mean, you must know that there's like some. You need to see the IFS, or I mean, there's like some type of certification, and the Japanese law also change concerning the subsidy. But yeah, man. But are you already onboarded with those Japanese companies? Because the Japanese company usually will not trade with you if you are like too small. If you do less than, I don't know, 50 million in revenue, they will not even onboard you as a potential counterparty. So yeah, my tip is like, yeah, be patient. That's my first tip. And the second one is like the problem with Japanese, like they do not say no to you, so it takes. So sometimes you don't know if this is a yes or no. And also like you will have like a lot of calls with them, a lot of people on the call, nobody, and you don't know if it goes anywhere. But be patient, man. That would be my advice, man. Thank you for creating this space. Great learning opportunity. Damn. Thank you, Sam. Thanks, Ricardo. Yeah, man, testing. You're the guy I said you need more artificial intelligence, right? Yeah. Yes. How was your conference in China? I mean, that was great. That was great. Man. I love it. I love it. I love it. Man. How do you usually edge physical trade? Man, look at edging, how it works, man. You sell the same amount on the future market. It depends if you buy or if you sell, but yeah, man. Well, okay. If this is a physical, if you mean physical trade, it's like I usually trade product that don't need to be edge because it's less operation for me. So and also less money in the edging account and so on. So and usually if you need to edge, that means that it's like quite a well established market with low margin and with like very tough traders. So I don't like that. This is why I don't do that. Do you think LinkedIn Sales Navigator is a good way of finding buyers? No, I don't think so, man. The thing is, it's again, man. When you have like a real company, okay, you already trade, you produce, or when you have product, all right, you know the market, you know the player, you know how it works. Then yeah, it might be a good idea to pay LinkedIn Sales Navigator to ping people, because you know what you are doing and you know to whom you can sell at a good price and the people that you can't. But at the beginning, I don't think it's a good idea. Thanks, Ryan. I'm in South Africa. Can you take people for work on your South African operation who are willing to work for free? No, dude, no, we don't do that, man. No, man, no. I mean, the thing is, I don't need unskilled, untrained people to work for us. It's more a burden for us than even for free, man. It's like negative. What you bring is negative, man. So, no, man. And also, sometimes people that ask that, they want to do something interesting like trading and so on, but they're so untrained that we can't even. It would just be like a way for us. Will you do a video about emission like EUAs or VCM market? I understand that those commodities are not physical, but would be interesting to hear your perspective. Yes, man. I mean, there's like a type of scam in the world. There's like type of scams in the world that I don't want to be. I don't even want to get in. And I think carbon emission, carbon credit, and shit like this is the biggest scam ever, man. This is a fucking joke, man. So I know quite well I mean. I haven't not traded it, but we did a lot of research in one of my past jobs because we wanted to finance VCM, the VCM market. But man, this is disgusting. This is I can't. But I can't. What's your advice for young commodity trading student from Geneva to start his career in the field? What do you mean? You are already trading, or you want to start? And if you are in Geneva, you already are a good placement. So, because there's a lot of opportunities. But what's the advice here? I mean, if my trading company is located in country A, I found a buyer in country B and supplier in country C, do I have to incorporate a company B or C in order to make the trade for? All right. So, good question, Craig. So no, the yes and no. So the idea, like if you buy FOB and you sell CIF, you don't need to incorporate anywhere. All right, because you buy a product which is already cleared and you sell a product before custom clearance. Then, if you want to buy, export, and sell DDP, then you need to be incorporated at those places, because you will have to bill VAT, and you will need to get reimbursed your VAT when you export. So usually you need to do that. You can only do that if you are incorporated in the country. But if you do any trade after the product has been cleared, or before it needs to be cleared, then you don't need to. If not, I hope I explained. But that's a good question, Craig. How can I get trade finance if you have trade flow but no finance? All right, let's do it again. How can one get trade finance if you have trade flows but no financing for it? But if you can trade, you must have some money already, man. But if you think that, okay, I'm not sure I understand you, man. If you only have like numbers on the papers, and then you say, man, I need, look at my Excel sheet. I know everyone. I have a purchase contract. I have a sale contract. I need your money to make this contract happen. It means you have nothing, man. But if you have that, all right. Okay, guys. If you have a buyer and a seller, but no finance, I can understand that. The best way is to go find another commodity trading firm. All right, you go find another commodity trading firm and say, look, guys, I have a buyer, I have a seller. Can you finance my deal? And then we do 50-50 on the profit, or 70-30, or whatever. Because the people that are the most, that would be the most okay to finance those deals, or to carry the deal in that case, would be a commodity trading firm, because they understand the risk that you want to take. The problem is that when you start, you probably don't understand the risk that you are asking other people to take with the money that you want to from them. So this is an issue. But if you're a real deal, go find a commodity trading firm and ask them to carry the deal, and then you do a split. Hello, can you take people to work for free? Hello, can you take people to work for free on your South African operation, especially the Rustenburg operation? I'm currently, yeah, man. No. No, we don't. UK. You get the guy with the. But 6 months is not bad, man. Honestly. Hello, Mr. Damian. Yeah, Carlos. I don't know, man. I don't speak that language. If, as an exporter, I want to provide 30-60 days payment term, what do you think is the best payment option with a credit insurance? Or if, as an exporter, I want to provide 60-30 days payment term, all right. The thing is, usually you will need to use credit insurance. That's the easiest, because then you will need to have an LC at 60 days. 30, it's going to be extremely expensive. I mean, it depends, but it's going to be extremely expensive. So the best is definitely a credit insurance. If you're an operator, you have operated ship, for example, but don't have the money, do you have the credibility to ask for money to transition to trading inside yourself? Man, if there is someone that is okay to give you the money, then take it, man. But what do you think about Turkish Chrome or market? Why did you prefer South Africa instead of Turkey? Well, I think it's just I know South Africa better, man. That's the reality, man. And I haven't tasted Chrome, Turkish Chrome. I like Turkish lokum, but Turkish Chrome, man. I don't know. No, but I think no, but it's like I don't know the Turkish Chrome market. I think it's, from what I've seen, Turkish is a way better structured country than South Africa. So I guess there is way less opportunity for someone like me to get anything done in Turkey. From what I've seen, you need to be Turkish in Turkey to make it happen there. So, but maybe I'm wrong. But that's the reason I'm in South Africa. It's no other reason. You're welcome, man. But I don't know if wisdom is the right word with me. All right, for setting up a new trading company, we are considering credit insurance to provide comfort with payment terms. And you are right. What is a credential company would you advise for international transaction? Man, there's like 3: Allianz, Coface, and Argus. They're pretty much the three the same, man. So yeah, any of them. But look, okay, all right. No, one thing. Look at where do you want to sell. For instance, I used to sell a lot in my past life in West Africa, like Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire, countries like this. And Coface had a better coverage there rather than the other credit insurers. So maybe look which one would make the most sense for you. But if you sell to Europe, US, or whatever, man, it's pretty much the same. Hey, salut Olivier. Would you say the profile of a trader has changed a lot over the past 20 years? It seems that maverick personality of Marchwick, Glasenberg X has been subbed out for tech data analyst geek who code. No, this is completely wrong, man. This is no. Now the company are way bigger or are way bigger. They are run differently, but man, and it's. I mean, I think all of you will think way too highly of people that. I think you think there's not like a bunch of geeks like that do analysis. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yes, there is a bunch of geeks that do code and analysis. All right, but those guys tend to be more in hedge fund, all right, than in commodity trading firm. And I think well, I could if I could. The way they take position, the traders and so on, that really speculate, man. I don't think there is a lot of. They are not geeks, man. It's more like a gut feeling, man. Something like this, man. It's I understand your question, and a lot of people have asked me the same question, but in reality, no, it's not, man. I've been asked to look for raw cotton from West Africa. A friend as a friend with a factory in Egypt. Yeah, man, good, man, good. Good, but man, it could be difficult to get some, but good. Cotton is usually a big players game. Yeah. Normally, factory sells to large buyer. I'm thinking of indirect distribution like exporter, but it creates 3 or 4 layers of intermediaries. Yeah, man, you're completely right. If I were you, I would try to find a smaller origin than like Burkina Faso, or try to find smaller origin where there is not like already everyone on it. I think there's origin like Turkmenistan or something like this, Tajikistan. I don't remember. I would try to look at this way, man. Because if you want to buy where like I don't know, Olam is buying, LDC is buying, and they do prepayment to get cotton in advance, it's going to be tough. But also depend on your friend's factory. Man. If he's a big factory and is already dealing with those big guys, or if it's a small factory that buys from a smaller importer, it will also depend. Yeah, I think I answer. I want to make $1 million by next week. What can I do? Yeah, go play a lottery, man. I think that's the best. Haha, then please do a video about it, even negative, since you did some extensive research. Yeah, no, but okay. So you for the people that don't follow, he spoke about carbon credit. So basically, carbon credit is the fact that I think it's complete. I mean, there's a lot of problem already scams about just the way how you calculate the carbons. But my biggest issue with that is like it's something imposed by the government. So, and this is bullshit, man. This is so. Damien, as per your experience, should a company focus on 1-2 similar kind of product, or like we can go from many unrelated products from product? Yeah, okay, that's a good question. So don't do like me. The reason I do like this is like I have partners. I have a company and I have a partner, all right, and the partner is the one that knows the best on that product. So and honestly, man, I don't think what I do is wise. Honestly, I think it's better to focus 2,000 times. How do you get expertise in so many products? Because most of the small boutique firms focus on. Yeah. So this is why I think it's not a good idea, man. But I like it that way. But it's not. I'm not sure it's a good idea. But also, man, don't forget, man. I've been doing that for my whole career, man. 15 years. So even more than that now. So yeah, man. But again, I think it's not wise, man. It's better to focus, man. Thanks for your Q&A. Was really helpful. No problem. I will try to do once a month. Morning from the USA. Look at to start my commodity trading journey. Any recommendation where I can start? I haven't inherited anything, and I come from the gutters. Yeah, man. Like most of people. So yeah, just start with a buyer. Man. Start to find a buyer, man, that is willing to bet on you. How can I be you when I grow up? Man, you don't want to be me. Is your advice for COFA as applicable for prepayment coverage with African supplier? No, they don't. They maybe they do reverse factoring. I haven't checked recently, man. But from what I remember, they don't, or in very specific case. But you need to check because I haven't checked that for a while, maybe more than 5-6 years ago. Do you manage to get an inside scoop on how the new Trafigura CEO managed to make CEO at 39? Man, I don't know, man. This is crazy, man. This story is crazy, man. I don't know, man. This is just crazy. Is a vitamin supplement company a company? Yeah, why not, man? I don't know, man. It's more ingredients. Here, where I work, there's a guy that has a small ingredient company that only focus on ingredient, and he's doing very well. Big margin, small shipment, less headache. I don't know, man. What do I think? Yeah, I think we can make money by trading it, but I think the underlying the carbon credit, I think it's a it's a fucking scam. I'm sorry. Here we go. If I agree with a buyer to sell them product in bulk, do I need to send them the invoice only or as a sales contract for them to first agree? Is the invoice enough for an agreement via email? Dude, man, I don't want to push you, but seriously, man, you should check the Shipping and Commodity Academy. Yeah, man. No, but usually start with make them sign a contract. But can I see the back and front of your bank card? I want to see. Have you ever sold cotton? Also, what do you know about cotton trade? No, never. But I used to. Most of my clients when I started was a West African importer, and a bunch of them was also an exporter, and a bunch of them worked with cotton. Do you see the commodity trading companies are moving away from just buying and selling and more into having processing facility and also? Yeah, sure. It's already happening. Man. The big one. This is what they are doing. They are trying to have a well-placed asset in the supply chain to guarantee better margin. So yeah, for sure, this move is already being done. Man. All right, guys. Any other questions? It's been already 1 hour, man. Yeah, Paul is my partner from. I want to see your. Are you watching, Paul? Man, he just called me. We have some new client. He just sent me a message. I don't want to show information, but yeah. So that's a good Sunday if we have new clients on Sunday. All right, new questions, and then I'm going to go and call Paul. What's the ICC contract you recommended? 769. What the fuck, man? International Chamber of Commerce. What I recommended what, man? Thank you, no problem. What are your opinion on tariffs if Trump gets into power? I don't care, man. I don't deal with you with the US. But man, maybe we're going to create new trade flows. So there's always opportunities. All right, Justin, thank you, man. Good luck with your cotton, man. All right, guys. So thanks a lot for being here on this Sunday. And yeah, man. So if you want to break into the commodity trading world, just check the first link below this video. It will land on the Shipping and Commodity Academy. And if you are still here after 1 hour of live, thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot. I will try to do at least once, at least one live once a month, so then I can answer random question like this. Ciao, guys.